Good morning. How is everyone today? I don't know, it says rotate my phone. I'm not on the phone. My new laptop, I'm still learning how to use it. So, how is everyone today? Just doing a little smudging here real quick. So we're going to just smudge the laptop and smudge my phone. Just smudging. Good practice to do in the morning or anytime. So just wanted to do that real quick. All right. So today we are going to talk a little bit more about astrology. I told you guys that I wanted to, at the beginning of the 2019 year, I want to, during the time of each zodiac sign, I'll do a little bit more of an in-depth on that particular sign. So when we're in the Aries sign, I'll do a live on Aries and so forth through all the different signs. So I wanted to today take some time and probably maybe one or two more lives before we get into doing that, just to excuse me, go over some of the basics of some astrology so you guys have a little bit better understanding of what I'm talking about. So, I hope everybody had a good holiday. I had lots of family over and it was fun. We had a good time. So I hope everybody else got a chance to celebrate that as well. And, not everybody has a big family or a big dinner, and however you choose to celebrate it is perfectly fine. There's no right or wrong way. Just remember to just be thankful for what you have, because there's always somebody that has more than you, but there's always somebody that has less than you. So just try to remember to be thankful for what you do have. All right, so all done talking about gratitude for a little while. We did that for a whole month. So we'll get into some Yule and Christmas stuff in a little bit. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of go over some more basics of astrology. So when I talked about astrology a couple weeks ago, I did tell you guys that there is a natal chart that you can go online and get done. And again, I can put the link up again for anybody who hasn't done it yet, because without that, a lot of this isn't really going to make sense to you, or you're not going to know how to apply it to yourself. If you don't know your sun sign and your rising sign and your moon sign, when we're talking about all these different signs, it's going to be kind of hard to piece together what is clicking in for you and what's fitting for you. So again, it's free. I will put the link up again. So I just really highly recommend that you go and get that done sometime this month. Again, you're going to need your birth date, which most of us know. You're going to need your birth location, and you're going to need your time. So again, that was a little bit trickier for some of us. For me, my birth certificate did not have the time on it, so I had to get the time. But like I said before, I knew where I was born. I emailed the town clerk's office there. Normally you have to pay to get a copy of your birth certificate and stuff, and I told the lady I just needed the time. I was doing my zodiac astrology work, and she was very nice and emailed it back to me the time. So that was very nice of her. So that's always an option you can try, especially if you are not located now near where you were born. So just Google the town office, and most of them have a website or something that you can get an email for. And usually, if it's not the right email, they'll say, well, it's not me, but I can, this is who you need to contact. So, but anyway, so when we talk about the zodiac signs, there are, all different ones. There's Aries and Pisces and Capricorn and Sagittarius and all the different ones. But they are all grouped into four, I don't really know, I don't want to say categories because I'm not really sure that's the best word. But so let me try to explain it, and you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. So all of the signs break down into four groups, I guess is the word I'll use. And so those four groups are lots of different groups. I know it's kind of confusing the way I'm explaining it. So let me break it down even easier. So there are four element signs, which most of you know are water, air, earth, and fire. There's also a fifth one that some people use. I use it. It's the source, the divine, the God, whatever you choose to call that fifth element is completely up to you. Whether it be God or Buddha or Odin or source, divine, Mother Earth. I mean, the list goes on. But that is the fifth. Quick note, that is where the pentagram comes in. So the pentagram is not a symbol of the devil or hell or Satan or any of those things. The star is the five elements. So you've got the, like I said, earth, air, water, fire, and then the fifth is the source. And the circle around it is the connection. So everything is connected. So that's where the sign of the pentagram comes in. Side note, sorry. So those four element groups are, so I'll just, first of all, I'll start. So the water element would be your Cancer sign, your Scorpio sign, and your Pisces sign. Your air elements are your Gemini, your Libra, and your Aquarius. And then your earth is your Taurus, your Virgo, and your Capricorn. And then your fire sign is your Aries, your Leo, and your Sagittarius. So for me, my sun sign is Sagittarius, which is fire. So my rising sign is Aries, which is also fire. And my moon sign is Capricorn, which is earth. So a lot of times when people are talking about astrology and stuff, they'll say I'm a double fire, or I'm a double water, or things like that. So I would be a double fire because my Sagittarius and my Aries are both fire signs. So sorry, got my tea dehydrated again. I'm always dehydrated, which I recently learned. First of all, I don't drink enough, but I have learned that a lot of times people that do a lot of different energy works do suffer from dehydration. But I really just need to drink more water. All right, so so those are how the signs break down into those four elemental groups. So again, water would be your Cancer signs, your Scorpio signs, and your Pisces signs. Your air element is your Gemini, your Libra, and your Aquarius. Your earth is your Taurus, your Virgo, and your Capricorn. And your fire sign is the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So that's kind of how that initially breaks down. So then there's always layers going down. So then a little bit on each one of those four. I'm not going to get into source because that's just a whole, like, everybody's, we'll wait on that part. It's a little more complicated. So we'll stick to the four basic elements. All right, so we'll start with fire, just because that's the one I wrote first, probably because I'm a double fire. So fire signs are, well, first let me just, before I read this. So these are going to break down into some categories and some descriptions for you. So like I said, you have your, my sign is a Sagittarius. So that is got a description what a Sagittarius should be. So I have that description. Then now I know my my rising sign and my moon sign, which are Aries and Capricorn, which also have a description. So your sun sign is kind of your main who you are as a whole. Your rising sign is kind of your first impression sign. So when you first walk into a room and the way you behave and the way you act and the way you are, that's kind of your rising sign. And then your moon sign is kind of like the underneath bottom layer of you. I don't want to say the dark side because that's not really accurate. It's not, people sometimes moon dark side, but that's not really, but it's the underlying, like when you dig really down deep into you, who you are. So for me, it's the Capricorn, which I kind of like, when I learned that, I'm like, I don't want to be a Capricorn. Capricorns are very work driven. They're very, very like, this has got to be done. Everything's got to be done. All the things have to be done. And they tend to push out relationships and friendships and things of that sort. So I'm like, I don't want to be a Capricorn. But I am very work driven and I am very organized and detail oriented. And when things are not done, I do get very, very upset. But it's just one piece of me. My virus protection thing is popping up. Sorry. It's just one piece of me. And so there are lots of other pieces of me. So it's not, when I'm describing these things to you, it's not going to be like, oh, that's who I am. No fighting it. It's just a piece of you. So just remember that, okay? So anyway, the fire sign is passionate, dynamic, temperamental. So just like a fire. It can keep you warm, can keep you, alive because it can keep you warm. But it can also destroy you. So it can wipe you right out if you're not careful. So a fire sign is somebody who needs some nurturing. So I'm a double fire sign. I do tend to complain and whine and want to have that feeling of somebody take care of me, which is my husband, who's a Virgo, and that's his job, is to fix things. He's a Virgo. He wants to fix everything. So just kind of pieces how some things work together there for you. So an air sign is a very action person, ideas and motion, just like air. So there's always something going. There's always something coming. Winds can blow through. They can move you, or they can be a breath of fresh air. They're always adventurous, and they can tend to sweep you up if you're not careful. So there's always a good side and a bad side. Got to have that balance of what's going on there. So again, fire sign, air signs are very in motion and active, just like air. Air is always moving. So that's kind of how that works. Your earth signs, obviously, are going to be the people that are just going to keep it real for you. They are going to be grounded. They're going to be steady. They're going to be loyal and stable. They're going to stick by you no matter what. And they're going to take care of you, which again, earth signs fall under that Capricorn. So it's a little confusing because I just said Capricorns push relationships out, which is true. But when Capricorn has decided that you're their people, which is usually a very small group, once they have decided that you're in their group, their circle, their they have decided they are somebody they do want to care about, they will stick by you forever. They're not going to go too far away from you. So if you have a Capricorn in your life and they have decided that you are one of their people, um, they're going to be there for you forever. That part of the Capricorn for me is, again, I don't have a really large group of friends. I have lots and lots of people that I know. I have lots and lots of people that I like to spend time with and care for. But my friends and family, well, I have a huge family, but it's a small group of people that I consider my friends. Um, Side note, they may be people that I don't talk to every single day or see on a regular basis, but there's a handful of people out there that will, no matter what happens, they'll be my friend. So that's kind of the Capricorn part of it. The downside of Capricorn, because like I said, there's always got to be that kind of balance of the good and the bad, is they can be very materialistic. Capricorns, again, who are kind of, like I said, and it's not just Capricorns, like I said, it's the Taurus, the Virgo, and the Capricorn. Um, they are work driven people, and so they want to feel successful and accomplished, and so that's kind of how the materialistic stuff kind of comes in there. The water sign is very emotional people. They're mysterious, and they can be sensitive, just like water. When you look down into the water, it's very beautiful, but you can't see down in there sometimes, and it's like, what's down there? It's very mysterious. But water can be refreshing, but it can also drown you. So, that's somebody that could come in as a water sign, could be a very refreshing person in your life, somebody that's going to kind of wake you up and, put life back into you if you're kind of stagnant. But they can, again, like the air signs, they can sweep you up and kind of consume you. The same with the water signs, they can kind of take over and drown you out sometimes as well. So, water signs also have a very big tendency to the psychic and the intuitive and side. And so, in my zodiac signs, like I said, I'm a double fire and earth, so I don't have any of that water sign in my zodiac. But we've talked again about the personality test that you can take. I talked about it way back in one of my very first lives. And I can see if I can find the link and put that up for you as well. So just a little side note is, on my personality test, when it came back, I came back as a water sign. It comes back, it's all coded. I'm an INTJ. And they broke down into lots of different categories. But an INTJ, and I have that written down somewhere. I won't find it now. Yeah, I didn't write it down. Oh, right here. So I'm an introvert, intuitive, thinking, and judging. That's the INTJ. And so only about, I'm guessing here, but I know the number, I just can't think of it at the, only 2 to 3% of people come back with an INTJ. And so it was very high for my intuitive side, which is where the water sign comes in. So there's all these different things that play into effect. So you can kind of find the group that fits everything. Because when I first was learning about my zodiac sign, I'm like, first I thought some of this stuff didn't fit. And then when you kind of go back and, really think about it and really kind of fit all the pieces together, you're like, yeah, that does fit. Even the signs you don't want, like the Capricorn. Not that the Capricorn are bad people. We need our workers. We need our people that are very work driven and take care of all the things that um, some of the rest of us don't want to do. So, and then I got a few more minutes here. So just to break down some of that a little bit further for you, not that that wasn't enough, right? Each one of the four elemental signs actually breaks down into some other categories that are all go together. So for example, there's the four directions. So your fire sign is associated with the south. Your air sign is associated with the east. Your earth sign is associated with the north, and your water sign is associated with the west. And one of the reasons that I wanted to go over this today was because the live I actually wanted to do today was talking about the animal spirits for the north, which is, I was like, well, I can't really talk about that because I haven't explained all that stuff yet. So I needed to explain this stuff before I could dive down into going over the animal spirits of the north, which are the earth, but they also go with the seasons. So the earth sign, north sign go with the winter season. So that's why I wanted to talk about them today, is because we're going into winter. So that's why I wanted to do that live. So that'll probably be in the next either Thursday or the next week. We'll talk about that. But I wanted to give you this basic information before I could really go into that information. So again, so there's the four elements that go with the four directions, which go with the four seasons. So again, your fire sign is the south, but it is summer, which makes sense because when you think of south, you think of warm. Your air sign, which is to the east, is your spring. And again, you know, that makes me think spring is when all the fresh air comes and you can open your windows. And that's how I kind of remember some of these things. Your earth sign is the north, which is winter. So again, if you think of the north, it's usually cold up in the north, or colder in the north. And then your west, your water is your west, which is autumn. So then they break down into your 4 times of the day. Because, you know, why not break it down even further? So your dawn is your air, and your midday is fire, your sunset is water, and your midnight is your earth. So all these things can be broke down to different things. But when you will see, if you've ever watched some of Athena's videos and stuff, when she's opening a circle, she calls them in that way. So she'll call in, you know, she starts at the east, I believe, and she'll call in sorry, my alarm for work. She'll call in the spirits of the east, the guides of the east, and, you know, she'll thank them for the air and spring, and, you know, and she goes around, and then when she releases them, she goes backwards. So that's, you know, some of the things that you may hear. A lot of people do start in the east. I don't know exactly why a lot of people start in the east. For me, I don't know why either, but north just seems to be right for me. I don't know, north, east, southwest seems to be. I don't know if that's because that's how we grew up and we saw, you know, the compass was always that way. So I don't know if that's why that seems to resonate with me, but to me, it just seems to start with the north. The other thing is when it coincides with the seasons, which is winter for north, for the Celtic calendar, this is the beginning of the new year, not January. It was October. So October 31st was the beginning of the new year. So maybe that's why I think more winter. I don't really know. But whatever feels right to you is what you should do. So, I'm giving you all this information just for you to better understand. But I will never say this is the way it's supposed to be done and that's how you have to do it. Because I'm not going to do that. You do what feels right for you. So if you're casting a circle or opening a circle or whatever you want to call it, you can start with east, you can start with north, you can start with the south if you really want to. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Typically, people do start in the east. There's a lot of different traditions that go with the east. Like I said, I mentioned to you one time when I burn my sage or my charcoal, or you burn your new intention leaves or anything like that, you should always bury your ashes to the east, which I do. But typically, like the way I think of it is anywhere you're standing can be east. If I wanted to plant it in a pot behind me, all I have to do is go stand outside, and now this plant pot is to my east. So, you can kind of play with how those things work a little bit if you really want to. You can kind of manipulate it to work for you if you really want to. But typically, I do have a plant pot that is right by my front door. This is my workspace, so that is what I consider east. This is where I usually do any of my ritual stuff and along with my classes for you and things. So I go east from here, but there is a plant pot right there that's east of me. So so that is the breakdown. Real quick before I go, there's also, of course, there's more, right? There is an actual symbol for the four elements, which coincide with the fire, air, earth, and west. Now, I should have drawn these out for you. Your fire sign is just a triangle, upright triangle. So your water is a down triangle. Okay? And then east is your up triangle, but it has a line through the center of it, which I don't have enough fingers to do. Well, I guess so it would have a line through it, through the middle. And then your north sign is just the opposite. And the line should be straight, but my fingers just don't go that way. So it would be a down triangle with a line through the center of it. And I'll try to find something for picture or a meme or something to put some of this information up on the posting for you. So with that, I think I am all covered. Again, there's always more. It breaks down. There are animals that break down to coincide with the four elements, which is kind of what I had originally wanted to talk to you about today. But like I said, once I started kind of writing my notes and stuff, I'm like, I didn't really cover the basic parts of some of this first that there may or may not know. Some of you may know this already, but some of you do not. And so before I could go into talking about the spirit animals of the north for you, I kind of had to explain how the north and the elements and the zodiac signs and all of that kind of come together. So again, that was kind of a lot of information. I try to break it down into smaller pieces for you, but there was kind of a lot in this live. So you can certainly rewind me and watch me again, or if there's something you didn't quite understand or you didn't quite get, you can always comment me or private message me, and I will explain it or try to explain it better for you. And again, I'll try to find some memes. I'm pretty sure I have some that go over, the fire, water, earth, air symbols for you, and the breakdowns of them and stuff. So I'll try to find something. If not, I mean, I can write it out and post it. My handwriting's just horrible. So maybe I could type something out and post it to give that breakdown for you of the 4 elements and all the different things that coincide with each one of those. So again, that's why I don't really want to call them groups. I don't really want to call them categories, but I don't know what else to call them. If somebody has a better word, let me know. All right, so we're going to go live again on Thursday, and unless somebody has something else they want to talk about, we'll talk about the animals of the north. So we're in the winter months, and so we'll talk about the animals of the north. Again, unless somebody has something else they want to talk about, you can private message me, and I can change things up, because there's always next week. And there's nothing to say, like, if there's really something important that you guys want to talk about, I can always do more lives. I just don't want to bore you guys. And I know it's hard for you guys to get on here with me at 8 o'clock. So hopefully people are popping on and watching these videos later, and that I'm not just talking to myself every morning. It would be nice if you do watch it to just either like or put watched or replay or something, so I know that you guys are out there listening to me and I'm not just talking to my computer. All right. With that, have a great day. It is snowing and horribly windy here, and I would really rather just stay inside and spend the day talking with you guys, but I have to go to work, so now I have to put on 5 million layers of clothes and hope my car gets out of the driveway. So thanks everybody for listening. Again, if you have questions, comments, watch the video, pop in a comment for me so I know that you guys are watching. If you have any friends that you think would like to be in the group, I'd love to add some more people. We've had a couple of new people in the last few days, so I'm excited about that, because every new person could potentially mean more new people. And again, I want this to be more of an interactive group, so hopefully we'll get there. We're not there yet, but it takes time. So hopefully, people will get a little more interactive and a little more comments and sharing and questions. So anyway, I'm thankful for you that are here, and I'm sending you lots of love and energy today. So there's me sending you some energy. And just remember, be kind. Everybody has a story, and your kindness could change your day and someone else's. So lots of love, ladies, and thank you. Bye.